do it, man. Let's do it. What's up, fight fans? It is the homie, main man, me man here. Y'all know how I get down. We talking boxing, man. What up to the fam? And what up to everyone in main man, me man's boxing form? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, look, man. So the thing is this. First off, I want to give a heads up. I know I told everyone we would be live tonight, but unfortunately, I cannot do a live stream tonight because I'm still dealing with a lot of pain going through my body, fight fans. So y'all gotta excuse me for tonight. Y'all know I told y'all a few days ago I had pulled a muscle somewhere up in here in my shoulder, top shoulder area, and since then, man, my arm has just been in serious pain. You know what I'm saying? And it comes and it goes, and then it's painful right now, but I gotta let this heal, man. I can barely sit in one spot for too long, you know what I mean? So unfortunately tonight is just not a good night for me to do a live stream. So we will do this though, fight fans. So I will continue to speak about some of the tools that my main man Terence Crawford has that he can use against Canelo Alverez. Now don't worry, Canelo fans, I already know I am going to do a series for Canelo Alverez as well as to some of the things that Bud Crawford is going to have to look out for. So we'll definitely get there after we wrap up the Bud side of things. And so we're going to continue that, fight fans. And so I want to speak about this particular tool right here, another tool that can give Canelo Alverez a lot of problems. Now, let me just say this. First off, salute to the real live boxing minds out there. That's first and foremost, man. You know what I mean? Because on those two previous videos that we've already done, speaking about Crawford's tools, y'all came through in the comment section giving some cool ass also other suggestions about Terence Crawford. And the one prevalent thing that I heard a lot of y'all say is Terence Crawford has great range and distance control. I was like, damn, we got some real live boxing minds out there, man. Salute to the real live boxing minds. Now, of course, there's no one in the universe better than Mademan. But at the end of the day, y'all are sharp. So salute to y'all, man. And I think that y'all are right on the money when y'all speak about this. Terence Crawford's range and distance control is crackerjack, everybody. Crackerjack. The thing is, man, is that we can go back to Terence Crawford's more recent fight to describe his range and distance control. We can go to the Israel Mademan fight. The thing is, if you go back to the Israel Mademan fight in those early rounds, Terence Crawford did a phenomenal job at controlling the range and distance. Every time that Mademan would take a step forward, Crawford would take a step back and then boom, pop him with a fully extended jab. And it was like every time that Mademan would kind of cross a certain plane, Crawford would just not let him get close to him. He would keep him at the end of those punches. And that is something that Crawford does, not only does, but does very well. You know what I mean? And it's like, yo, bro, his range of distance control is awesome. And we know that Crawford has a 74-inch arm reach. So that's what makes it even more crackerjack. Now, the thing is that could he use that, say, against a Canelo Alverez? Now, we know that Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford are pretty much the same in height. You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to height, they're pretty much right there. I believe that Terence Crawford is like 5'8.5" or something like that. And Canelo Alvarez is like 5'7.5", something to that effect. You know what I mean? But, they basically pretty much damn near neck and neck in height. However, when it comes to the reach, Terence Crawford is 5'8", and so when it comes to so I think Canelo is like probably shorter than Crawford by a half an inch. But when it comes to the reach, Canelo Alvarez only has a 70-inch arm reach, and Terence Crawford has a 74-inch arm reach. And we all know that that's what makes Bud Crawford so special, is the fact that he got that 74-inch arm reach. And most fighters got to figure out a way to get next to Bud without getting cracked by one of those looping shots, because his arms are so long. He loops a lot of his shots, and he comes up and down on a lot of his shots, and that makes punches that you can't see. You know what I mean? Those looping shots that come in around the side, those ones that come in from the top to the, coming down like a hammer. Crawford throws a lot of those kind of punches, and that's one of the keys to his knockouts. He knows how to hit fighters with a lot of punches that they don't see, because he loops a lot of his shots. Now, my thing is that Canelo Alvarez is also has a ton of experience with fighting taller fighters. Whenever Canelo Alvarez fights taller guys, he likes to get next to him, maybe try to counter him to a certain point. Canelo Alvarez also comes out in those early rounds pressing his opponents, but not giving a lot of activity. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of pressing him, hoping his opponent would do a lot of moving and, burning a lot of activity. That thing that we see Gervonta Davis doing now. You know what I mean? Well, Canelo was pretty much the inventor of that. You know what I'm saying? He presses his opponents for the first 5 rounds, conserving his stamina, hoping that his opponents would drain their stamina. Now, Bud Crawford doesn't have a stamina problem, so I don't think that would be an issue at all. But I do still see Canelo Alvarez coming forward inch by inch, trying to press Bud in those early rounds. And so if that happens, this is where Bud Crawford is definitely going to have to use range control, because in the early portions of the fight, Canelo does not have fast feet. He just doesn't. This is not part of who he is. And so Crawford's feet is much faster than Canelo's, which means that he can definitely scoot back, keep him at the end of punches, or, you know what I'm saying, beat him to certain points faster than Canelo can get there, and meet him there with a flurry. These are the things that Crawford can do. And a lot of that will start with definitely range and distance control. Also, Terence Bud Crawford, as we know, once again, 74-inch arm reach. And if he connects on you with full extension of those 74 inches, his punches are much more dangerous. You know what I'm saying? That much more dangerous. So when it comes to range and distance control, if Crawford can do what he did early on in the Israel Mademan fight, which means that every time that Canelo wants to inch forward, he takes a step back, keep him at the end of that jab. You know what I'm saying? Just like he did with Mademan. Crawford gets a lot of bad, a lot of fans don't look at that fight and say, oh, well, Terence Crawford showed vulnerabilities in that fight. Oh, he must be losing it. We hear the talk out here. Oh, look what happened at 154, blah, 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 blah. But the thing is about Terence Bud Crawford that you must understand, for those who've been watching him for a long time, is that Crawford has always been susceptible to the right hand because of the risk that he takes. Well, actually for 2 reasons. One, because he goes southpaw a lot, and we know that the right hand is the number one money shot to try to deliver against a southpaw. So yes, because it can slip, it can slip in there. And so Crawford goes southpaw a lot, so right hands do touch him. And on top of that, Crawford is a risk taker, where he puts himself in harm's way. So yes, right hands will touch him. It's not a thing of, oh, well, he's losing something or Mademan exposed something. No, because if you even go back as far as when he fought one-legged Benavidez, guess what, fight fans? Terence Crawford was getting touched with right hands. That is nothing new under the sun. You know what I'm saying? And so even against Israel Mademan, where Crawford was southpaw a lot, and he went southpaw early, against Mademan, yeah, he got touched with some right hands like he always does. But once again, it's nothing that I'm surprised about. And I keep reminding folks, you got to understand, Crawford is not a pretty fighter. He's just not. He's not Floyd. I don't know where people get this notion from. He's not even super duper slick. Like I said before, when he was younger, down at 135 and maybe even around 140, but when he came to 47 and beyond, he's been a destroyer. You know what I'm saying? And so he puts himself in harm's way. He sometimes will take one to give off 2 or 3. You know what I'm saying? And that's just who Terence Crawford is. On top of that, I'm going to give you another thing for those who may, see these type of things come up. Sometimes Crawford doesn't hang well with a lot of boxers. Those who like to primarily box, Crawford is a really, really, really good boxer. Don't get it twisted. But that's just not his strong point. Crawford is a fighter, meaning that even if there's a fighter in there that got more skills than him, he has the brain to know how to find a way to win. That's what makes him special, everybody. Y'all looking for pretty. Oh, Mademan touched him with right hands. You looking for pretty. Crawford ain't pretty. Crawford is gritty. I'm going to say that one more again. He ain't pretty. He gritty. Well, meaning that, look, he going to take you to places that only, he can go, and he going to see if you can go there. Okay, you might touch him with a few right hands, but what happens when those looping shots are landing from the side and you don't see him? What happens when he buzzes you and puts you on shaky legs? Then what? Crawford, that's the thing about it. He is a fighter, everyone. Can he box? Absolutely. But most importantly, he can fight. We know Crawford, if you touch him, you want to go get a lick back and he's going to want to come after you. That's the fighter in him. You know what I'm saying? He's not, say, even as fundamentally sound as maybe he was, once again, at 35 and 40. Now, he looks to deliver the boom shot. You know what I'm saying? And when he delivers the boom shot, he puts himself in harm's way. He switches to southpaw and gets touched by right hands. But they never seem to really... It's like he knows when to hold him and knows when to fold him. He knows, okay, too many right hands piling up. Let me take the step back. Let me try something new, a different look, a different feel, a different pace. Change the speed up on these punches a little bit. He will try something new until something works, until something sticks, everybody. That's just how he is. There's a lot of fighters who made early on in the fight was doing a good thing by boxing Crawford. Hell, Kell Brook started off well. Amir Khan started off well. Sean Porter started off well. But guess what? L. That's the way it goes, everyone. So if you're looking for pretty, go back and look at some of Floyd's fights. You know what I'm saying? If you're looking for pretty. But if you're looking for gritty, then you look at my main man Bud Crawford's fights. Because he's a gritty fighter. And he has wonderful range and distance control. He can put you at the end of shots, use fast feet to keep you at the end of shots with every little step you take. Now, I would suggest that he honestly think about doing something like that in the first 4 to 5 rounds. And then we have to have a pivot because Canelo Alverez at that point in the fight is going to pivot. So I'm going to stop right there. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have a lot to talk about when it comes down to this fight. We're going to break this joint down to the molecule. Y'all keep on coming on through with those good old comments, man. And I really appreciate it, man. Real spill. And I also want to give a thanks to everyone who's been hitting me up in the Cash App, man. Thank you for all of the well wishes. And thank you just for all of the cool words I've been getting from a lot of y'all, man. And for anyone that wants to support the channel and donate towards the Cash App and keep helping us build the channel, just check me on out right there with those letters up there in green. I want to say thank y'all very much. Thumbs up on the way out. If you didn't hit it on the way in, share, rock the bells. Though I am in pain, I will not miss Thursday nights We Talking Boxing. And the live stream that I had planned for the night, let's see if we can get this bad boy off the ground tomorrow. But I'm getting better as every day passes, but I got to get rid of this pain in my arm, everybody. Thanks a lot, man, and we'll talk again real soon. Hey, Mr. Bandman, I need to hear those beautiful words.
I respect it. Yeah. I don't believe it.
3-time undisputed. Ooh, coming soon.
Coming soon, fight fans. Don't miss it. It's going down. To the next video, fam. Bam. Bazael.
You got a real one in here. Y'all got a real one in here now.